So let me go to the classroom examples itself. Okay, and yesterday we were writing Tomcat. Okay, and then I want to write about basically working on multiple things right now. Okay, so for that, what I would be writing is I would be writing a section called as handlers. Okay, and even handlers, I would basically I would be writing multiple handlers for that. So name, restart, Tomcat. Okay, and here again the same thing. What has to happen? The module comes into play again. So the module is going to be service. Okay, and whenever I say service, name is going to be Tomcat 7, and the state, if you go into the Tomcat state, there is a state called as restart. That's it. Okay, and here I have to do one more activity. Oh, sorry. I have to come over here and I have to say that notify. And what is the task which you need to notify? Exactly the name, whatever you have written over here. Make sense? Yeah. Similarly, I'll be using one more module over here, which is copy. Okay. And in copy, yesterday we might have written some commonly used modules. Yes. I'll be using the same stuff, even though it has no relation with Tomcat as such. Okay, but I'm basically doing it only for the sake of it. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. If you want, you can write name and all of that. I'm just doing this. Okay. After this copy, I want to restart Tomcat again. Okay. So then what I would do? I'd basically say notify, and what is the name of the handler? Restart Tomcat. It has to be exactly the same. Remember that. Now there is no need for me to write two service commands after two activities which needs restart. That's the whole idea of handlers. And this handler concept will be there in every configuration management tool. Okay, we would have similar thing in Chef, we would have similar thing in Puppet, or any configuration management tool for that matter. And this way is basically generally termed as publishing and subscribing to events. Okay, so basically if you see apt is publishing a event and it is notifying it to handlers. Okay, this is called as publishing the event. And there is another way where you call it as listening to events. Okay, which I will be showing in the basically one of the playbook sample. That is not required because no one has started using it as of now, but at least it is good that at least we understand that. Fine. So here what is important, you have to just remember the name of the handler, and whenever you want to call that, basically write something called as notify, and basically okay. Now okay, I'd go to the Ansible's documentation. Ansible task handlers. Yeah, this is what Ansible is calling a new way of looking at it. In our approach, what is that we have written? We have written notify. Now if you look at the task, basically task does notify. Okay, but task notifies to the name of the service, right? Generally mana rasin dan prakaram, what is the task is notifying on? Task is notifying on the name of the handler, right? Suppose you want to have one event and you want to have multiple handlers for that. Okay, suppose here it is like you have to restart Tomcat and you have to restart Apache. You have to do both. Okay, so for that what they have done is, okay, I'm sorry, I've opened the wrong link. So you write notify restart web pages, and now if you see there are two handlers. Two handlers have different names. Okay, but if you see they are listening to the same name. Listen on okati, listen is equivalent to whatever has been notified. So this is the way where you can subscribe one event and publish one event and subscribe to multiple events. So for example, you want to do series of actions, restart not only one thing but multiple things. Okay, so this generally will not have much of a usage, but even if it has to do, it is not difficult. Manaki cheyalsin change enti you have to add one more listen. But remember, this works from Ansible 2.2. If you are on earlier versions of Ansible, this was not present. This is basically a feature which is given from Ansible 2.2. Okay, here what is happening? One source and multiple event handlers or task handlers for that matter. So that's what this is meant for. Okay, this might not be touched, this might not have been done, but there might be chances that the person who is strictly following Ansible might ask you as a question, and it is not at all a difficult thing. Okay, now what we can do is, okay, to implement this, I would give you a simple exercise. Copy a file, and whenever that file copies, restart Tomcat and Apache server also. There is no relation, but just to test this. Okay, so how will you do that? You would just copy file, and then you would say notify A, some name A. Okay, and then you would go to the handlers and you would write two handlers. Okay, they might have their own names, it's okay, but write something called as listen which matches to A in both the places, so that whenever basically the file is copying, it is notifying A, two handlers are listening to it now. So this is a new way of looking at handling, task handling, right? So if someone asks you the interview question saying that I have one task, I want to basically send it to multiple things, what multiple event handlers, what do you think is a better way? Then if you just tell this, that would make an impression that you are reading something new, which are coming new features, which will create an impression. That's the whole point about it. But it is not difficult kada. Inko name badal listen match avalante. Okay, and if you are matching it to only one event, there is no difference. If you have to write it just for this sake, here using listener does not make much of a sense because it is one service. Match name, that's enough. But if you have to subscribe or post to multiple things, then you would be using listen. Okay, so a handler can be done in two ways. Okay, before Ansible 2.2 and after Ansible 2.2. Before Ansible 2.2, this is the only option. Okay, but after Ansible 2.2, what you can do, you can have one event and you can subscribe it at multiple handlers. And how do you do that? You do that using listen. Okay, because now there is a listening concept. Earlier it was designed only for publishing the concepts, publishing the events. Now it is listening also. That's the reason. Fine. Okay, understood the essence of it? Okay, we would combine multiple things and execute at one shot. Okay, so this is with respect to handling. So what happens whenever a file is copied? Basically it would restart Tomcat. Whenever Tomcat has been installed or present, then it would try to restart Tomcat. Fine. Okay, now are we clear, or do we have any doubts on this? Okay, oh, I can understand. Shravan, now is it better? I've not looked into. There was a fan that was switched on here. Okay. So now next important thing. Till now in Ansible, whatever we are doing, we are hard coding everything. We are writing everything in the playbook. But that might not be the reality every time, right? Sometimes you might have variables which might be provided during runtime. Okay, and the user ki marche avakasam undali. For example, the Tomcat's package name as of today is Tomcat 7, but with Tomcat 8 or 9 coming into the play, the name of it might change to Tomcat 8. But this playbook, whenever you want to handle Tomcat 8, it needs to undergo a change. It needs to undergo a change where you have to change this file. Okay, changing the file, playbook file means testing it again. Okay, make sense? So for that reason, what we would do is we would try to identify the areas which can be basically dynamic. Okay, and for that we would be writing variables. For that we would be writing variables. And let us just have a look at variables. Okay, variables and answer. I am going into the Ansible documentation as much as possible because I want you to do that. There is already a book written on Ansible. If you want, you can. Basically, the book is on sale on in the Xerox shop. Basically, a Konark Xerox shop. Exactly, it is opposite to our building. Okay, and for the people on the web, you just ask Satish, you would get the book, and there is everything documented in that. But still, I can open that book. I'm still going into the Ansible documentation because that book was written 2 months back. Any changes that have happened in this 2 months, you have to go to the documentation because these things change frequently. Okay, but the conceptually that book has everything. Okay, these probably you might have new modules over here. So that's the reason. Okay, so I'm not doing on all of this. So variables can be defined at basically two places as of now till whatever we have learned. One is in the inventory, the other one is in the playbook. Okay, ఇప్పుడు వరకు మనం నేర్చుకున్న inventories, we have learned inventories, we have learned playbooks. Okay, we have learned conditionals and all of that. Okay, so till this moment variables can be defined at two places. One is in the playbook, the other one is in the inventory file. Okay, so basically variables can be defined, and whenever variables can be defined in the inventory, what is that we have? We have individual host names and we have groups. So variables can be defined as host variables and group variables, because inventory has two things, right? Individual host you can write like what we have written local host, which does not belong to any group, and then we have grouped the server saying that as Ubuntu DB servers and all of this. So you can have group variables as well as host variables. Okay, so to demonstrate that, I would be basically taking an example which I have already done. Okay, it's okay. Okay, fine. This is one way of looking at it. Okay, you would be writing group name colon vars, and you can define a variable name and its value. Okay, and this way is called as group vars because this is a variable defined at a scope of group. Okay, but this works out if basically the things are very less, but there is a better way to handle all of this. Okay, so let us look at the folder structure first. Okay, I'd open this folder structure. Okay, you are seeing two folders, right? On the top, what are they? Group underscore vars and host underscore vars, right? So let me go into the group underscore vars. Okay, and what are the groups that are present over here? Database, right? So are you seeing a file called as database? Yes, and let me edit this with Notepad. Here you write a YML file which contains basically multiple variables and values. This is the best way to handle it. Okay, group variables ఏమన్నా define చేయాలంటే the place wherever you have your inventory, whatever place it might be, the place wherever you have your inventory, okay, relative to that create a folder called as group vars. Okay, in the group vars create a file exactly with the name of your group. Okay, and in that write multiple entries. So all of this will become group variables. Same logic applied to a folder called as host underscore vars, and write your host name, local host or whatever host name which you have defined in your inventory. Write it over here, and in this again you write a YML stuff of folders. So this will become host variables. And now how do I use it? Important question. Okay, how do I use it? Okay, fine. I think let me go into the playbooks. Okay, and you are seeing different things, right? Group test.yml, okay, and command test.yml. No, not this. Vars. Just if there is any variable which you see var, you just try to tell it to me. No. Yes. Okay. Do we have anything called as config location by any chance? Yes. This is our variable name, right? Yeah. And to use it, you have to use this syntax, which is double curly braces, name of your variable, and then do it. So let us try to do the same thing. Okay, where I would be creating basically an inventory file. I would copy the inventory file into some other folder, and then I would be creating a group vars, and then I would be creating basically host vars as well. Fine, make sense? Okay. So, and also we need to know, understand its precedence, which executes first and which executes last. Okay. So for that reason, I need to log in into the machine. So what is the purpose of variables? Are we clear? What is the need for variables? Variables enduku రాసుకున్నాంగా పని చేస్తున్నాయిగా మళ్ళీ variables enduku? Are they working right? Why do we need variables? That's one thing. Yeah. Any other use case around it? Yes, that is right. But yeah. ఎందుకు వేరియబుల్ ఎందుకు అవసరం లేదు కదా? we are writing, we are able to write, we are able to install Tomcat, we are able to restart services. Still, why do I need to basically use variables? You don't want scripts to be static. You want your scripts to be always dynamic. Okay. You don't want much of changing your scripts. You want them to be dynamic enough. For example, in Linux administrators over here, I'm quite sure that you might have been used to writing your shell scripts such a way that they take arguments. Right? Why do you give arguments? Because the user can pass it at runtime, and based out of the values which you pass, your script can handle multiple things. Exactly in the same way, here we need variables. Right? Okay. So it is for from the people who are from a different background. I'm quite sure that you might have written an ad program sometime in your life. వచ్చినా రాకపోయినా యాడ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసి ఉంటారు. అప్పుడు ఫంక్షన్ ఇంట్ యాడ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్ ఏ కామా ఇంట్ బి అని రాశారు. రైట్? Do you all agree to that? Do you remember still that? Okay. int a int b ఎందుకు ఇవ్వాలి? యాడ్ అని ఇచ్చేసి ఎప్పుడు 1+2 చేసేయచ్చుగా. Exactly, that is the problem with this. Okay. So if you write just 1+2, that becomes just, it is a static function. Okay, it always returns 3. Okay, we don't want our playbook files to behave in the same way. So for that reason, we would ask to make it a bit more dynamic. We are accepting variables. That's the reason. Okay. If your script is supposed to be static, don't worry about variables. But sometimes there is a necessity. For example, folders. Where do you want to install the software? The folder is not always static on every machine. It might change. Right? So that's the reason. Now, let us VPC ID. Actions, start. Tomcat 7 on Red Hat machines, if I'm not wrong, it is yum install Tomcat. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so connect. Yeah, and then go to the downloads folder. Okay, CD playbooks, right? Okay, fine. Now let us write first an inventory file over here. Okay, I want to write an inventory. I will not be writing a new inventory. I will be basically copying the inventory whatever is there in the host to here. So cp etc ansible host to here. So am I seeing host file? So this would be my inventory file which I would be passing. Okay. So and now I want to basically, since there is an inventory file over here, I have to create two directories, which is group_vars and host underscore wars. Before that, let us have a look at this file, cat host. So what is that I have? I have basically 3 separate nodes. I have web servers, I have DB servers, and I have Ubuntu. So I'm interested in putting variables for Ubuntu. I'm interested in putting variables for Ubuntu. So for that reason, what I would do is I would create a folder called as group underscore wars exactly at the folder where I have inventory file. So now inventory file ikkada undi kabatti ikkada create chestunna. If my inventory file is in some other folder, I would go to that location and there I would create group wars. Fine, wonderful. And then basically I'd go over there. And what is my group's name? Ubuntu. So touch, or let me do a VI directly. VI, I have to create a file with the same group name, Ubuntu. Fine. And in here, since this is a YML file, I am starting with okay. And then I would state it as package hyphen name, or let me write package name directly. Okay. And the name of the package which I want to install is Tomcat 7. Okay. Make sense? Name of the package which I want to install is Tomcat 7. Fine. So now I have just group wars. Now let us write our Tomcat playbook. So let me see if I have Tomcat. Okay. So I'd remove the Tomcat 7. Okay. And I would write my own Tomcat 7 version now, which I would basically copy from, where is my Tomcat 7? This stuff. Yeah. Still I need to do certain changes. I'll do that. Okay. So my Tomcat 7 which I am writing over here cannot be static now. It has to be from the variables. So for that, what I would do is name is going to be okay. And if I am not wrong, I have written something called as package. Okay. And now exactly the same thing over here. Okay. Name, I would be writing it as pardon me. It is mandatory because it works conventionally. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So basically now is it dynamic? Yeah. Because tomorrow if it becomes Tomcat 8, what is that I have to change now? Variable. Am I touching my code? No. Right? So that's the advantage of it. Okay. And what I would do is there is one more thing which I want to do. Okay. Where is my file? Yeah. So destination, right? Destination also I want to make it as variable. Okay. Because in this we would be checking basically. Okay. I'd be calling it as dest underscore copy or dest copy, whatever you like. Okay. Fine. So this is going to be our stuff, and dest copy, let us try to copy it. Fine. This is my playbook. And now, okay, let me go into group wars again, because in group wars I have to create one more variable now. Okay. So what is the variable? cd group wars, or I can do vi group var slash Ubuntu, and here I would be writing one more entry which is destination copy, and I'd be writing something like home Ansible dest test. Okay, from group. Make sense? So this is going to be my destination now. Okay, now let us do one more thing now. Cat, let us run this first. Okay, let us run this first, and then we would do the other areas of work. Okay, so what is that we have to run? We have to run tomcat underscore 7. Okay, so Ansible, 1 minute, vi, what is our hosts in this? I don't remember hosts. Ubuntu? Yes, wonderful. So Ansible hyphen playbook minus capital K, and we are also changing inventory, which is not default inventory. So minus I hosts, and then what is the playbook which I want to run? Tomcat 7.yml. So it would ask for password. So basically it says that failed, unsupported apt parameter notify. So there is something wrong with the notify which we have supplied. Okay, it's okay, we'll correct it. Okay, and then to retry, basically use this, and I'm not interested in all of this. So I'm interested in only looking what is the problem with my notify. Okay, so how can I find any problem? Go back to documentation of it. Okay, so notify, this is how I have to write it. And what is that I have done? Yeah, fine. Yeah, so I have to do the same change over vi tomcat 7. Yes, tomcat 7.yml, and now here. Okay, fine. Let us see now whether it works or not. So task apt. Now what is it saying? Unsupported parameters for apt module notify. Oh man, yeah, I got the essence of it. Okay, so the basic thing, one more thing is which we have written it as a wrong. This was something which I was discussing. Yeah, apt is basically not a parameter of, or not a child of apt. Notify అన్నది apt property కాదు, apt కి equivalent. So you have to start at the same place where you have started apt. So that's the error. Okay, and to correct it, this is what we do, and the same thing over here as well. Okay, fine. So this was the mistake which I have done. So in YML file, if anything starts 2 spaces after it, it is a child of it. So basically what has happened, we have written apt and 2 spaces, and we have written notify. So it was trying to search for a parameter called as notify in apt package, which does not exist. So that's error. Yeah, fine. It is good that it has happened. Okay, now started at the same place. Just delete 2 spaces. Fine. Now let us see if we have the same errors Okay. Are you saying running handler? Yes. Okay. Now let us log in into that machine. Okay. So the one of the machine's name is, I'd copy this. Okay. SSH, and I would insert that, and then I would check sudo service Tomcat 7 status. It is running. Okay. And now, what is present working directory? Home/Ansible. So, are you seeing anything called as dest from group? Yes. Okay. So what I would do is, only in this machine I would remove this file. Oh man. Okay. So I don't have dest from group. If I run it again, what happens? It would try to create that file. That's it. Because the state has to be maintained. You said that you want that file to be copied. Okay. Here I am going to make a slight change now. I am going to create a something called as host variable. What is that I am going to do now? Host variable. So let me exit out of this machine. Okay. Unless I have an inventory file over here exactly related to the inventory. What is that I have created? Group_wars. Now I am going to create a folder called as host_wars. Okay. And in this I have to create a file with the host name. Okay. So vi and your file's name. Right. And in this I will be creating a YML, and my YML has one entry which is dest. What was it? Variable parent. Okay. నాకంటే వయసు అయిపోతుందండి. Okay, fine. So let us just look at the file again. We will do cat and we would be able to know it. Okay. Anyway, we have created the file at the wrong place, by the way. It has to be in host wars. I have created at playbooks folder. So rm. Okay. So cat tomcat 7 dot yml. What is the variable's name? Dest copy. Yeah. Please do remember this. Yeah, I have very bad habit of forgetting variable names. So vi host_, or let me get into that folder. cd host_wars vi, and then machine's name. Okay. Since this is a YML file, 3 things, and then I have to create a dest copy, and the value of this, okay, will be home Ansible dest copy from host. So there is the same variable which has different values, one in the group, the other one in the host. So let us see what happens. I would try to execute the same command again. I would try to execute the same command again. So which is, okay, fine. Ansible -k, I is my inventory file. I'm telling that inventory file is the host file, and the playbook which I want to run is tomcat7.yml. So it will ask for password. If you want, you can enable verbose to see all of the logs over here, but I would want this to be minimal, and I want to go in there and check. Okay, so let us log in into the machine. SSH, okay, ls. What is happening? Okay, so the first, whenever you write in group, and if the same variable is defined in the host will have more priority because host is closer to that machine. Okay, so group variables ni edanna oka specific machine lo marchali anukunte create a host variable and then change that value. So now what is happening? We have two Ubuntu servers. In one Ubuntu server, I am creating a file which is home ansible dest from group because that is a group variable. In the second machine, I didn't wanted the file there. So what is that I have done? I have gone into the host vars, and in the host vars, basically what is that I have done is I have created the same variable and given a different value. Okay, so now what happens? For that host, whenever it is running, it will see the variable at two places. One is in group vars, the other one is in host vars. Host vars have more priority than group variables. So host variables is the thing which gets applied. So that's how it works. Make sense? So now we'll be able to, you can create variable for anything which you want to write in playbook. Anything. Okay, fine. So basically this is how you create variables, and in the playbook also you can create variables where you write vars and all of that. That is nonsense. I don't want to discuss about that. Okay, because that doesn't make sense. If you want to add something which changes in the playbook, it is as good as changing playbook itself. Okay, so I would not do that, but let us see if with looping conditions will it come into play. But are we clear till this point? Okay, are we good about handlers and listeners? Yes. And the next thing which we have discussed is variables. So anything you can create variables. I have defined two simple variables, but you can define package names, you can define states, you can define everything in variables, whatever you think can change in the future. Okay, for now I am just thinking that the package name and the folder paths might change in the future, so that's why I have only two variables. But if you think that is not the case, your configuration might undergo many changes. That means that many variables. That's it. Fine. Okay, now Ansible. Yesterday we had seen when. Okay, which was good. When is simple, right? When you would write and you would write a condition. Whenever it is true, the task will execute. Otherwise, it will not execute. As simple as that. Okay. Now, let us get into the second thing. Okay. So there is something called as with items. Okay. So let me just write a small sample for that. Loops.yml. Okay. So this we should be very much used to now. So what is that I have to write now? Host all. Let me not write all. Let me write Ubuntu because the package names I'm not sure. Ubuntu. Okay. And then do I need to become? Yes. Okay. And then I would have task. Okay. And in the task, I'd basically start a task. Okay. Which is install utilities. Okay. So whenever I say install utilities, I want to install tree. I want to install git. Okay. And then what is the other best thing? When is any simple name which is utility? Pardon me? wget. Yeah, it's okay. So I on every Ubuntu machine, I want to have these utilities because it should be easy for the users to do that. And also I would be adding Nano to it. I have 4 softwares to be installed. Okay. So general approach is write 4 tasks for it. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want to write one task where I would be defining all of this in a group and I want to make it work. Okay. So for that is what I'm trying to strive over here. So name is this. And then what is that I want to do? Apt. Wonderful. Till here it is no problem. And then here we have to write name. Okay. So you are seeing the whole thing over here, right? Command, and then you would be writing name after 2 spaces. Okay. And then state. But whatever I'm going to write is not a child of apt. It is something which is property like apt. So I'd be writing with underscore items. Okay, and with items he has written an array, and I would also be doing the same thing where I would say I want get, okay, I want nano, I want tree, and I want wget. These are the utility software which I want on all of my servers. So what I would do over here is, to get this I have to use a special syntax, which is this we are used to already, right? And in here you have to write something called as item. Okay, and then state is, okay. So if you want, you can declare this item, this array, in the host vars or group vars, and also fetch from here. మీకు ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ ఇక్కడ కాకుండా, this is a variables declaration in the playbook file itself. But if you want, you can have the same array declared in as some variable in your host vars or group vars, and then basically just give the name of the item over there, like what is specified in this sample. Okay, make sense? Right. So let us try to do this. Okay, now I'd copy this. Okay, I'd create vi loops dot yml. Did I copied everything? Yes. Fine. Now Ansible minus k. I'm not going to give the host file. Even if I give it, there is no difference. Yeah, because the file is same. Host. Okay, and then yeah, Ansible playbook. Yes. Messed up completely, right? Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, now let us get into that machine, and basically if you see, it has it is basically seen as one change, because there is only one software that might not have been present on that machine. Okay, so let us log in into our old machine. SSH. Okay, and now I'll just click on git. Yes, git is there. And the next one is tree. Yes, tree is there. And the next one is nano dest from group. Even nano is present. Nano would be present already. Yeah. So what was the other thing? Wget is. So all of the utility softwares I have written it in one thing with something called as with items. What happens is it is much like a for loop. So or a while loop. What happens in while loop? You might have given an array. It would basically try to serve each and every item. Okay, so that's how this stuff works. So will you be able to write loops now and conditionals? And it has no if for kind of a syntax. It is a very simple with items. Okay, and then you have to use a special syntax called as double curly brace and item into it. Okay, fine. Now, so are we clear till this moment, or do we have any doubts? Let me see if I have any doubts about it. May I know any name we can define, or is it matched to our group name? Okay, it has to match to your group name when it comes to host vars or group vars. Giving any different name or different folder will not work out, because it is a convention. It is not a configuration. There is a difference. Okay, so there are something called as conventions, and there are certain things called as configurations. And whatever we are trying to give with this group vars and host vars are not configurations, they are conventions. Whenever it is a convention, you have to follow the rule. For example, how many of you know Maven over here? So in Maven, there is a specific folder structure which we write for Java, src, main, Java, and all of that. That is a convention. There is no configuration for that. Okay. So basically, if you go into any project, it would look like that. So similarly, in the same thing has happened for inventories and variables. So wherever you have inventory file, there you have to create a folder called as group vars. Wherever you have inventory, there you have to create a folder called as host vars. In the group vars, you have to create files with group names, and in the host vars, you have to create files with host names. Okay, if you want, you can add .yml, but generally that was not the way that was being followed from day one, so I am not writing YML file, but the content of it is essentially YML. దాంట్లో మనం రాసేది YML అయినా explicit గా YML అని రాసినా పనిచేస్తుంది. But most of the places you will not see people writing .yml there. So that's the reason we just go by that convention. Okay, so it is convention based. Okay, fine. So line in file. Okay, so I think you can understand what is trying to tell there. What is trying to tell there? Ensure a particular line is in a file, or replace the existing line using the back referenced regular expression. So what I want to do you to do is this. I will not be explaining whether. Okay, I would be giving you an exercise. You just tell whether it has happened or not. If not, I'll do the same exercise. Okay, in the next class. So what is it is I have a notepad. Okay, it has multiple contents. Okay, but I want it to have content called as quality thought. Okay, use that line in file to identify whether that is present or not. Okay, that is the first case. And the next case is whenever you see quality thought, replace it with quality thought technologies. That's it. Okay, that is fine there. If you go through the documentation, these two scenarios are given in examples directly, if you understand. So this is one stuff. And HDPA SSWD module, before I go into the module, okay, so okay, just see what it does in Linux. Here you can store some passwords. Okay, here you can store some credentials. Okay, use that manually. Once you use that, using it in Ansible is not difficult. But if you don't know what HTTPS SSWD generally does it in Linux, it will be very difficult, because we know that apt-get does install, yum does install. Okay, whenever I execute a command called as echo, it would display the same content. All of that is good, but this, if you don't know, I want you to create some passwords in there and delete some passwords in there, and let us do the same activity from Ansible. Okay, either HTTPA SSWD, I want you to basically enter some credentials over here. Okay, use this to store some junk credentials. It's okay. Okay, do this, and then I will be doing it from Ansible. Okay, but if you don't know it in Linux, it does not give a value add for me to execute it in Ansible. Fine? Yes? Okay.